What is up, 7th grade? This is lesson 52. Our objective for today is understanding order of operations. And if you don't think it matters in life, at some point you're going to end up with something like this on your feed. At least I end up with them all the time. Maybe it's because I'm a math teacher, I don't know. And people will say, can you solve this correctly? And it says 98% fail to do this or to solve this correctly. Well, my first question is, how did you calculate that? But anyways, legitimately, depending on how I decide to do these different operations in here, I could end up with different answers. So which is the correct answer that they say? I mean, if they did a different order than me, then they'd end up with a different answer. And that's where today's lesson comes in, to the order of operations. It matters which order you do these operations in. Now, you may have heard of this order of operations before, and as old teachers, we're taught it like this with "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally," PEMDAS. And your book illustrates it like this here with the order of operations. But to be honest, they're exactly the same thing. They're just different ways to help you remember it. So number one, in your book it says simplify within parentheses or other grouping symbols. If there's more than one, then you go start with the innermost one. Okay. Number two, then you simplify powers and roots. Number three, we start with multiply. We do multiplying and dividing in order from left to right. And then number four, we add and subtract in order from left to right. So if you notice here, this is the way that I was taught, and probably all your previous teachers were taught. P stands for the parentheses, or which is your grouping symbols. That's your number one. Your exponents, that is your powers and your roots. Roots are actually a different form of exponents. Surprise. And then three, they say multiplication and division from left to right. So that's part three. And then addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction. So this is step 4. All right, so enough already. Let's try these. This is like example 1 in your book. So we're going to go through here. I don't see any exponents. I don't see any parentheses, so I'm going to skip down to part 3 here, which is multiplication and division from left to right. So I see this multiplication right here. So what I haven't done anything with that 2, so I'm going to leave it there. 4 times 3 is 12. And then I'm going to keep that subtraction sign, and then here's a division. So 4 divided by 2, that's 2. Now, that's all my multiplication division, so now I'm going to do add and subtract from left to right. So 2 plus 12, that is, not that, it is 14 minus 2, and my answer then is going to be 12. This is D from the practice set. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to look for parentheses or grouping symbols, and I normally don't see any. I don't see any parentheses. However, do you see this division bar? This is a grouping symbol. So it says do everything on top before you divide by the 3. So it's kind of a secretive little division bar there. So I'm going to go down from, so I know I need to work on the numerator first. Now let's go to exponents, or that number 2, roots. So 2 cubed is 8, or 2 times 2 times 2, plus 3 squared, well 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 times 5. All of it divided by 3. Now I'm going to do multiplication and division. So this is going to be 8 plus 9, and then 2 times 5 is 10, so plus 10. All over 3. Now I want to do division, but the grouping symbol is still outweighing this, so I need to simplify my numerator before I do the division. So let's see, 8 plus 9 is 17. 17 plus 10 is 27. Divide that by 3. Now the top is simplified down, so now I go ahead and do that division, and I get 9. Now, E from your practice set is a little bit different, but still the same basic idea here, is that it says evaluate this expression if A is this, B is this, and C is this. So what it wants me to do is it wants me to plug in these numbers that I have over here in to that equation. So A is 5, so I'm going to say 5 times B, right? AB, that means multiply. B is 3 minus B, which is 3, times C, which is 4. And then I go through my order of operations. I'm going to do multiplication before I do the subtraction. So 5 times 3 is 15, minus 3 times 4, which is 12. So 15 minus 12 is 3. All right, your homework is on page 371. You can do all of the practice set. You can do all of them from lessons 52, all of them from lesson 51, and then 9 more of your choice. Keep watching to become part of the 2%. Okay, so can we solve this? Yes, I think we can now that we have our order of operations. So let's see if we can figure this out. First of all, we need to go to parentheses. So we're looking right here. Oh, you can't see that color very well. We're looking right here. Now, inside those parentheses, we need to perform the order of operations. So we're going to do the product, the multiplication, before we do the addition. So 2 times 0 is 0. So here we go. We have 2 plus 2, and then I have 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 equals. So we're still working inside the parentheses. 2 plus 0 is 2. So I have 2 plus 2 times 2 plus 2 plus 0. Well, I'm going to do this first. So that's multiplication. 2 times 2 is 4. So I have 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 0. So let's see. 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 2 plus 0. That's 8 plus 0. Well, that's just going to give me 8. Congratulations, you are now part of the 2% that can, in fact, solve this. Good job, guys.